I swear these just sound so much better than me, dog. Like the other ones is too good, you know what I'm saying? I never been the type to be laughing at every joke, whoa. I ain't with that back down either. I'm for the smoke, lil' bro, totally different from me. Envious of me cause these bitches love me. But the result is all these kids that call me daddy cause I didn't put condoms on with they mamas. Child support made me lose a few commas. I'm kinda stressed. Feel like I'm constantly losing. I'm scared to win cause haters watch what you doing. I like this one girl but I'm not gonna pursue her. My pocket's not so secure, so I'm not gonna even knock at that door. Yes, I am sure, boy, being poor through your pores, but I can't cry about it.
Well, we know edit.
Stress kills, and I ain't willing to
Got some
die
things
about
we
it.
need to speak about today. Got the agenda from my producers, content managers, guys at the gym. They hit me, let me know what they want to hear about. So we're gonna talk about some things. We'll definitely talk about some things, some interesting stuff in boxing. Of course, we can't get to it all, but we'll get to it. We'll definitely get to it. Shout out to a Verb, one of my favorite battle rappers. That's the track you heard. Please download the album, purchase the album. Album is called If I Had a Heart. The track is called Lining Straight. Get your lining straight. So shout out to Verb, shout out to TK Cut, shout out to Old School Boxing Club, shout out to Cobra Fight Club, shout out to Gracie Jiu Jitsu, shout out to want to get everybody. Shout out to Derek Bowers, barber extraordinaire. Jump on Facebook and look him up. He is definitely that dude. When it comes to barbarism, I got my hoodie on. I'm on my Darth Vader stuff, on my Mandalorian season 2 on. So let's jump into these topics, man. First, shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation for all of the latest updates, anything that's happening in boxing real time. You definitely want to go there. Shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, man. He been putting on information to try to put you on to some stuff that I've been looking into. You might want to look into it yourself. So shout out to them. Shout out to him. Definitely. Canelo is a free agent. These for my guys at the gym. It's what they wanted me to talk about first. I got some info that he was a free agent. He's a newly acquired. He's a new free agent. So I was asked again about the contract. I put up a post earlier in the gym of one of the coaches about the terms of the so-called contract before, and as we discussed, um, and as I figured, because in my regular working world, I deal with this stuff all the time. Like I told people when Oscar De La Hoya was running around talking about how Canelo he signed a bigger contract than Mayweather, and I went on record in our circle, and I was like, yeah, he didn't sign no contract. Golden Boy signed a contract, and he's part of the Golden Boy package. It's not his contract. And I heard it all. Oh, coach, what? Corleone, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. That's what they said to me. You never led us astray, but today you don't know what you're talking about. And I said, about 3-4 years from now, it'll all come out. Remember that I said this. Posted about this earlier. Subscribe to the channel. Shameless plug. Subscribe to the channel. And I actually posted that conversation, or some of the aftermath of that conversation with one of our coaches at the gym. So again, subscribe to the channel. Review the content. And comes out now that he's a free agent, and he's suing Golden Boy and DAZN. When I had this conversation with earlier before this all came out, in public, again, shout out to the media outlets who put out the truth about this stuff. I got a bunch of text messages. Boom, 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 boom. How did you know that? the original lawsuit he filed that they went to arbitration about wouldn't be if it was his contract. Why would he sue Golden Boy and DAZN? Not only for money that he's owed, but for money that he's due. But because again, we deal with contracts on a regular basis, I figured that much. So shout out to Canelo. Go out and fight these dudes that nobody is saying you want to fight, and go out and continue to do great things. And I had to remind somebody this weekend about, because they're talking about Canelo's recent opposition, and I was like, yeah, okay, but I mean, he there was a stretch in his career where he was fighting everybody nobody wanted to fight. Nobody was trying to fight Austin Trout at one point, and Canelo fought. Nobody was trying to fight Ederson Lara at one point in his career. Nobody was trying to fight him. You got to consider he was very, very young when he fought Floyd. A lot of the dudes he fought, if you look at Canelo's resume, a lot of dudes he fought early in his relevant career had more experience than him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's some in there somewhere, but overall, his opponents' combined records while he was coming up was way more experience than him. So put some respect that man to that degree. Ain't like his recent opposition he's been doing that his whole career. That would be an untruth. So I'm happy for Canelo, man. But I'm gonna say this for the guys at the gym. I told you so. I told you so. Listen to Uncle Corleone next time. I know how these things work. Okay. So that's what I got on Canelo, man. Good luck, man. Be owned by no one. Don't be owned by nobody by the time you're worth some money. And that's just in life in general, and from a business sense. Don't be owned by the time you're worth some money. Now you worth some money. Don't sign with nobody. That way you can fight everybody. Don't sign with nobody. And so, good luck to, like I said, good luck. Like I said, he's one of my favorites. Um, um, Man, I can't digress because they get mad if I do, because it's something I saw in boxing scene that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna hold on to it. Let's move on. Devin Haney versus Yorkis No, this is the Protect Yorkis Gamboa campaign is still active. Doesn't end when the fight is over. I don't care about. I didn't even really watch the fight, but because I kind of knew I was going to go. I said that Devin Haney was going to win a lopsided decision. He wasn't going to stop him, guys. So thank you for all the text messages, because I was at a birthday party. I didn't even get a chance to watch the fight. But I said Devin Haney will win, big decision. It won't be no. That ain't gonna be about nothing. I'm not gonna recap Leo Santa Cruz and Tank. Check the prediction that we posted on that I did came out. I predicted it accurately. I said without lock and step, what I said was gonna happen. I said that Tank was going woo him into a firefight, and Tank was going to stop him. Tank wooed him into a firefight, and Tank stopped him. I had Leo winning up until the stoppage. You can say by a slim margin, or you can say by a big margin, or whatever, but it don't really matter. Either way you cut it, I had him winning up until he got stopped. So Tank did what he was supposed to do, pressure the pressure fighter, but who really came out boxing. So I didn't see that. I didn't think that Leo would come out boxing right away, but he came out boxing right away, and it was beautiful. It looked really, really good. But my prediction was accurate, so there will be no recap. No, there will be no recap. What else? What else y'all want me to do? Not recapping that. Brook Crawford. It's a fight coming up. Terrence Crawford is a pound for pound number one. I'll start with him. Terrence Bud Crawford, who I had the pleasure of meeting years ago in Vegas before he became a big star. Me and my cousin was in Vegas. We used to frequently go to Vegas to watch these fights, and he's one of the coolest, humblest dudes I've ever met in the game. He had braids back then. He's a different cat, but he knocked some dude out named Gorgeous, and it was He was on the undercard. Him and Keith Thurman actually was on the undercard of Richard Abreu and Brandon Rios, who we went to go see. I was a big Brandon Rios fan, so I went to go see the fight. Um, um, and happened to, he came out in the crowd in the stands and sat with us and chopped it up. It was one of the best nights in boxing that I actually ever had, because I may get my cousin on here to tell the story. I won't do because I won't do the story justice, but it was a cool thing. Terrence Bud Crawford, pound for pound, number one in the sport, in my opinion, by far. I'm not ESPN. My guy's not gonna lose. And then, okay, Terrence, you can be number one now. Terrence been number one. He been number one. We're gonna do. Matter of fact, we're gonna do a pound for pound. I try to stay away from that stuff, but no way to no edit. We're gonna do one. We're gonna do one. You already know who number one is. So, uh, 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 Terrence Bud Crawford, a record of 36 wins, no losses, clearly no draws, 27 KOs. Terrence Allen Crawford, um, from Omaha, Nebraska. Um, last three opponents: Jose Benavidez Jr., TKO; Amir Khan, TKO. And then the dude's name that I cannot pronounce that starts with an E, last name starts with a K. Can't pronounce it. TKO. Before Benavidez, it was Jeff Horn, TKO, and then he took all those belts from Julius in Dagu. Um, Other notable names: Victor Pistol, I was at that fight. John Molina, Henry Lundy, Hank Lundy, Thomas DeLorme, who was very avoided at the time. He got on, I think, against, and people say he got on against Yorkis Gamboa, but I actually disagree with that. I think he got on against Ricky Burns. I think he got on against Ricky Burns, and then Yorkis Gamboa obviously was on Televisión. Bradis Prescott, I do believe he was the step in for that fight, and unanimous decision to him. Everybody else we don't care about. Long story short, for those of you who are trying to bash fighters on the coincidental list records, it's funny how, and I'm gonna digress a little bit. It's funny how now they're and I do believe I think this is what I saw on Boxing Scene. So I'm sorry, Boxing Scene, if this wasn't you, but I think I saw on Boxing Scene they were saying, the knock on Bud is his strength of schedule. Why don't y'all examine his schedule? Just trying to don't just try to find something to write about, because you ain't got nothing else to write about. You dig what I'm saying? Look at his schedule. Look at the names. Look at the names. Look at the dude's records. Look at what the young fella has. It's a reason why, because pound for pound, for all intents and purposes, it's a fictitious ranking. There's nothing concrete that makes any. That's why so many pound for pound lists. Mine won't be no different, because somebody's can be completely different. But um, we're not gonna do that. We don't discredit no fighter unless you jumped in the ring and put on some gloves and done something to somebody. So we're gonna make our own list, because everybody on our staff and everybody on our staff has done that. If that's the criteria. Uh, um, um, so that's what we're looking at. Terrence Bud Crawford. Let's look over at, and let's talk about Kell Brook. 39 too. Same amount of knockouts. I mean, not same amount of same 39 and 2. I do believe they have either close or very similar to the same amount of knockouts. He got 27, and I think Bud got 27. So they even there. 39 and 2. Ezekiel Brook, alias is also known as the Special One. Special K, United Kingdom, from Sheffield, Yorkshire. Last three opponents: Mark DeLuca with a KO. Michael, I don't want to butcher his name, but unanimous decision. Michael Zaraf, looks like. And then another guy whose name I can't pronounce. Um, uh, Shier Rambunkna or something like that, who he knocked out. Before that, it was Errol Spence in a big fight, but he got knocked out. He fought Gennady Golovkin, lost that to a TKO. Before that, Kevin Brazier, Frankie Gavin. He does hold a victory over Sean Porter. And then everybody else we don't care about. So Kell Brook is a tricky, experienced guy who's just a pro in my opinion. I've always been high on Kell Brook. It was a lot of guys from the UK I'm really high on. Kell Brook was one of them. James DeGale was another one that I really followed. And of course, I like Anthony Joshua. I follow him as well. So I think this is going to be a good one. We're going to do what we always do here at this is our pattern, is what we do over here at No Edit, is that we'll give a prediction first, and then keys to victory for both fighters. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do prediction first, keys to victory to both fighters. Before I do that, I'm gonna put you on a pause. I'm gonna stall you out. I'm going to talk about the Tyson Fury stuff. I'm going to talk about the WBC and all they tomfoolery that they got going on over there with deleting posts and all that. I got these text messages, but I can't get to all of them because I got to keep this at like 17, 18 minutes. So I will be getting to that on a different post. We'll post as soon as possible. We got to do the research and all that good stuff first, but we're definitely gonna get into it. I just don't see a headline and then start talking about it. Me and again, there's 5 of us, and we actually sit down and go through what we go through. So prediction: Crawford, Kell Brook. Crawford will win by unanimous decision. Kell Brook's a professional, and Kell Brook is very good. And judging from his last 3 opponents, he got a lot of rest. Because Kell Brook is an A minus, maybe a solid A, maybe A minus, somewhere in that ambiguous middle. He's one of those guys. So he's very good. He's better than any B level dude or any low A level dude. He's gonna have problems with or lose to, Kell Brook right now. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna, and he's 34 years old. But again, it depends on where you are in your physical prime. Everybody's physical primes are different. So the prediction is Crawford by a unanimous decision. Again, we're gonna respect Kell Brook and what Kell Brook do and what Kell Brook bring to the table. I think Kell Brook's a very dangerous opponent for Terrence. It's very good because of the opponents that I've seen. Terrence, I would definitely say that Kell Brook is probably the most threatening. If he takes a loss, it's probably going to be the Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my prediction. My prediction is Crawford will win by unanimous decision. Keys to victory. Now, so we're gonna go with Kell Brook. Keys to victory for Kell Brook to win. Kell Brook, here's what you need to do, Brook. Here's what you need to do, a special one. I got a special plan for you. Terrence is notorious for being the greatest switch hitter in the business. And he is just that. So you need to pick spots to make Terrence uncomfortable. Do not let Terrence Crawford sit down and think about what he's gonna do next before he actually do it. Because once that train start moving, that train gonna keep moving. So keep him from switching so much. Force a hand. And you can do that by where you position yourself in the dead spots. In the dead spots, and you're a high level dude, so you know what a dead spot is. In the dead spots, dead moments and rounds, you have to win those dead moments in the rounds by positioning, not necessarily by throwing punches or appearing to be active. Win the dead spots by positioning. So when you go on the hunt, you're in a place where you can go on the hunt and then you safe. You can make the safest escape route when Terrence starts throwing all them counters and stuff that he gonna do. So control the dead spots by your ring by your positioning, by your ring positioning, and your footwork. Let that drive you. Make sure you're always in the safest spot you can possibly be before initiating, and of course, be in the safest spot you can be when you are on the defensive end. But crowding, one thing you don't want to do is Terrence Crawford is back up in a straight line, and his lateral movement, offensively is superb. So you have to go to him when you're not throwing shots, because if you don't kill the space, he's going to find the holes. Okay, so if you can do those things, then you get a win. Then you win by split or unanimous decision. If you can do those things, a lot of times you have to win bouts, and you have to break rounds. You have to win bouts by breaking rounds into segments, 1 minute segments or 30-second segments, because a round is just a series of exchanges that you got to win. Okay, that's how you map that out. Do those two things and you'll win. Don't let him get comfortable. Don't let him get switching and doing all that stuff, switch hitting, and then control the dead spots with your ring position. Where are you when it's time to engage, and where are you when it's time to disengage? And you'll win if you do that. And although that sounds simple, but it's all of this is easier said than done. Terrence, your keys to victory are not to rely, don't overshoot, not to rely on your power because you got mad thump. Let your skills bring you there, which you typically do. I don't know what kind of keys to victory you give the number one pound for pound, but just be you. Just be you. Just be careful defensively. Make sure you don't back up in a straight line. If I would say anything, but your footwork is impeccable, and your head movement is impeccable. You hardly ever get hit. So, but if think about Chunky. If Ezekiel Brook can do what I said, he'll beat you. If you don't let that happen, by doing your normal footwork and just don't hunt a knockout, because Brook is really good at catching people making mistakes. When people hunt for knockouts, a healthy Brook is dangerous because he's too awkward to be hunting for him. He's too awkward to head hunt. He's too awkward. Brook is too awkward to head hunt. So don't head hunt. No head hunting. Lower that just a little bit and then come upstairs later. Play the mid-range game. Get his hands bit, because if you press a knockout, Brook can catch you. He probably won't knock you out, but he'll win. But hardly ever see you do that anyway. But he ain't Hank Lundy, and he ain't soft like, I don't want to call Pistol soft, but he's not as undisciplined as Pistol. He know how to make adjustments. Brook is a true professional. He can make adjustments, but as long as you do those things and just don't hit, honey. Just don't chase the knockout. If you don't chase the knockout's going to happen. Because unlike these other guys who are in the pound for pound on everybody's 50 million pound for pound list that they got, you're a finisher, and people have to remember that you're a finisher. You're not just a guy who's content to win. I think you content to win by decision, but you're not a guy that just relies on winning by decision. You actually stop people. I just read off the last 3 bouts. None of them made it. You know what I'm saying? None of them made it. So that's my prediction. Those are keys to victory for both fighters. We'll get into some of that other stuff later. But I had to trim down what people wanted me to talk about. So we're going to do that. No edit, baby. We in here. Hyena Boxing coming soon. Hyena Boxing Club coming soon. Join the pack.
I swear these just sound so much better than me, dog. Like the other ones is too good, you know what I'm saying? I never been the type to be laughing at every joke, whoa. I ain't with that back down either. I'm for the smoke, lil' bro, totally different from me. Envious of me cause these bitches love me. But the result is all these kids that call me daddy cause I didn't put condoms on with they mamas. Child support made me lose a few commas. I'm kinda stressed. Feel like I'm constantly